Well, hello everyone. Well, the time has finally come for me to have a look at this baby, the Chrysler 11-7. But in actual fact, we've come across a little bit of a different scenario with this fellow. It's a little bit different radio than what we first thought. So let's take a look inside as we remove the case, and it reveals something very, very interesting and certainly going to make life a little bit different for me with rebuilding this one. Could be very interesting. Okay, let's take a look inside. Yes, well, this is certainly going to be an interesting one. I have removed the dial glass in case anything happens. I don't want it broken. Now, removing this reveals a very unhealthy speaker. Very unhealthy indeed. In fact, there is no cone in there. So I don't know what we're going to do about that yet. Plug wires, everything seem okay. We've got to check the transformer, and then we'll work on what's got to happen with the speaker. Okay, we'll just grab this out of the road. Now in here, we have a little bit of packing. We've got an aerial wire, and let's turn this baby around for you, and you'll see something very interesting. This bit here. First of all, when I opened it, I thought, oh my God, what is going on here? That is a high voltage vibrator assembly, because this radio is indeed not an 11-7. This is a 6-volt radio by Chrysler using the 11-7 case, and it is designed for farm use off a 6-volt battery. The tubes are obviously, well, I think these are 1-volt tubes or 2-volt tubes, but this is also a bit loose. That is our vibrator assembly that changes our 6 volts to our B plus for the valves to, I'd say 130, 140. And whatever other B plus we need. Now, the interesting thing with this is the previous owner has also said that he plugged it in and it went for a few seconds and went off. Didn't actually work, but it made a noise. Now, what I can see here is the remains of maybe what was, well, seems to be a mains cable. This is a worry, because if a mains cable's been put in 240 volts in to a 6-volt radio, what's happened in here? We've got no idea yet. This cable here isn't a polarized cable. There's no positive and negative, which there would have been in the day if it was 6-volt. The radio itself is actually a 31-2. And there's some of the information on it. You can actually do a screenshot of that if you like, but we will probably include a PDF as we go along with this. This was compliments of Silicon Chip magazine, and yes, very interesting. as far as the radio is concerned. Very interesting. And if we have a bit of a look at the circuit, once again, I'll be putting a better picture up of the circuit as we go along. You can see that, if I can get this focused up right, that the power supply up there you go, is, there we are, that's not too bad, is actually the vibrator assembly. So I hope 240 hasn't gone into this radio. Could be a bit more work than what we anticipated. Compliments of Radio Museum. There's our valve list. Up the top there, we have our valve list. So they're all I guess they're 1 volt tubes, could be 2 volt tubes, and the vibrator transformer. This will be very interesting. Me being me, I would like to bring it back, this radio, to a working 6 volt farm radio, working off 6 volts as intended originally. So it will mean getting our vibrator assembly going, doing whatever we've got to there. If this hasn't had 240 go into it, which, could be a very big problem. Okay, well, there's the video up to date. We're going to start working on this bit by bit. The next part of this rebuild will be a video on what we find underneath here, what we discover, mainly with our vibrator assembly, because as I said, I'd like to bring this radio back to how it was when it was new. And that is working off 6 volts as a farm radio. And there's a bit of work there. There's a little bit of work to do, a bit scrappy, but anyway, we'll give it a go. So until the next video, this was just a catch up. We'll see you on the next one. If you would like to see more, subscribe and like and do all that stuff. And that way you'll be notified when the next video goes up, which will be fairly shortly. Okay then, it's bye for now.